on knee. Hey, everybody, you are watching and listening to the We Are Rising podcast. This is your host, Andrew Benjamin. I'm joined by a returning guest today. With us, we have Kazumasa Majima, who will be taking on Masanori Kanehara at RIZIN Trigger 3rd this Friday night, April 16th. You can catch the show on live now with English commentary. And Majima-san, thank you very much for taking your time out to talk to us. Yoshigo Nagashimasu.
お願いします。
So first off, I got to ask, how are it's been a year since you had your fight, your last fight, which was against Kleber. I'm curious to know, can you tell us about why you had the layoff from your last fight?
前回のクレベ小池選手との試合から、ちょっと結構間隔が空いて1年ぐらいになりますけども、なんで間隔が空いたのかとか、それらの経緯を教えていただけますか？
やっぱり僕は仕事もしてるんで、その噛み合いもありますし、自分的には年に2試合、3試合とやっていきたいんですけど、今年4月、4月に試合するんで、今年は2試合、3試合とやっていきたいなと思ってます。
Well, as you know that I do work full time, so I have to kind of coordinate with that. But of course, I really like to fight maybe 2 or 3 times per year. So this year, since I'm getting the fight in April, I'm looking to fight maybe 2 or 3 times.
Gotcha. And how is you overall feeling now? With the year layoff, do you feel well prepared for your fight against Kanehara-san?
どうですか？試合間隔が空いたことによって、今回調整ということに関しては、金原戦に向けてちゃんと調整ができているかというのと、またその試合間隔がどれだけ影響あるかっていうのはどう思われますか？
ここ2、3年は結構1年空くっていうのが多かったし、今回クレベルさんに負けてから、柔術の練習増やしたりとか、別の練習をしたりとかして、今回の方が調子がいいなと思ってます。
Well, it's not a first time for me to have this kind of a layoff. I had, like a year off and stuff like that in the past. But this time, ever since I lost to Clairville, I did put more emphasis on BJJ training. And I also decided to do some other training as well. So in terms of my conditioning, I think for this fight, I think I'm in better shape.
Okay. How do you think this fight with Kanehara will go? I mean, again, he's been a long time veteran, fought in UFC, has wins over people like Korean Zombie, well-rounded fighter in grappling and in striking. How do you see this fight going in your favor?
どうですかね、金原選手ってやっぱり UFC にも出たりだとか、そこでいい選手に勝ったりとかしてますし、打撃もできるし、グラウンドもちゃんとできるっていう、本当のオールラウンドの選手だと思うんですけども、どういった印象というのと、どういった試合になると思いますか？
やっぱり金原選手は言ってますように、打撃、寝技ともにレベル高くやってますけど、自分は組み技、寝技得意なんで、そこで攻め勝って、最後は決めたり、グラウンドパンチとかで倒していけたらいいなと思ってます。
Well, yeah, as you said, yes, he's very experienced and he has a good striking and solid groundwork. But my, strength is on the ground and submission. So I'm going to stick with what I can do best, and I'm hoping to, finish him with submissions or finish him with the ground and pound.
Also, this fight will be contested in the cage. I know your last, your 2 fights in RIZIN were both in the ring. How do you feel about the fight being in the cage? Do you think that'll play a difference in this fight?
前回の2試合はリングで、今回これ初めて、RIZINで初めてのケージになるんですけども、このケージになったことによって、自分が有利になるだとか、ちょっと違った点だとか、そういうのは何かあると思いますか？
練習でも壁の攻防で練習してますし、RIZIN出る前もずっと壁で戦ってたんで、特に嫌ってことはないです。逆に僕の、壁の攻防の方が得意なんで、その良さが出ると思います。
Well, even before that, I used to fight in cage, and I also did a lot of workout to the wall, like fighting off the wall and stuff like that. So that's my actually a favorite place to fight. So it doesn't bother me at all. And actually, the fact it's going to be in the cage, I think it plays advantage for me.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because I think if I remember correctly, I know it's been a while since I've watched Rebel SC. I believe that all the fights that they had were in cages. Is that correct?
そうですよね。やっぱりレベル FC とかでもずっとケージでしたから、その時はどうでしたか？
レベル C の時はもう調子良くて、あんまり全然疲れずに勝てたんで、まあ、ああいう試合ができたらいいなと思います。
Well, at Rebel FC, actually, the fights I did, I was in very good shape. So I didn't even get tired in those fights. So if I can fight like that this weekend, it will be fine.
Mhm. And so I know that it seemed like you and Kanehara were having some words back and forth. Nothing that's like disrespectful, but kind of, you're the each of you, either of you saying that you're the better fighter. I'm curious to know, how long have you had the kind of this competitive rivalry with Kanehara?
どうですか？金原選手とちょっとなんかまあ、別にリスペクトしてる感じではあるんですけども、ちょっと俺の方が強いみたいな感じの、今言い合いたらおかしいですけども、そういった感じになってますけども、まあ、実際金原選手に対してどういった思いを抱いてますか？
そうですね。まあ、今までの結果とか、からしたら、まあ、金原選手の方が全然あるんですけど、まあ、やっぱり自分は組み技信じてやってきてますし、そこの部分で上回って勝ちたいなと思いますね。
Well, I mean, Kanehara probably have a better resume, so to speak, but I think I'm better on the grappling, and so I would like to stick with what I'm doing at the best.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm curious to know if you saw his first fight that he had from his because at first he said he was going to retire after his loss to Victor Henry. Then he had the fight against Ashida. I'm curious to know, what did you think of his performance against Takahiro Ashida?
基本的に一番初めまでビクター・ヘンに金原選手負けちゃった時に引退するってことになったのが、まあ、カムバックしてきて違った階級で芦田選手とやった。で、芦田選手のパフォーマンスに関してはどう思いましたか？
須田選手の時はやっぱり1ラウンド、組み技でもテイクダウンしてましたし、有利に進めて、最後は打撃で KO して、本当にどっちもできるんだなっていうのを見て分かりましたね。
Well, that was a good fight for Kanehara. I think he took Ashida down in the first round, and he finished Ashida with the striking. So that tells that he can do both ground and striking. So that was my impression on that fight.
Also, that Kanehara, he has fought at bantamweight as well, and when I initially saw him going to up the featherweight, I figured that he might be outsized by a lot of featherweights in the RIZIN. I'm curious to know, do you think that the size difference between you two will be at all a factor also in this fight?
まあ、もともとバンタムでやった金原選手がこのフェザーに上げたということで、ただ、ライジンフェザーだともしかしたらその体格とかサイズ的に、肉体的なサイズ的にちょっと不利なんじゃないかと思ったっていうんですね。で、真島選手からしたらどうですかね、彼のその体格差とかそういうのはなんか自分に有利に働くとか、あんまり変わらないとか、どういったふうに思ってますか？
まあ、金原選手の身長とか、今までのバンタムの減量とか聞いてたら、フェザーの方がいいんじゃないかなって思いますね。
Well, I mean, considering how tall Kanehara is, meaning Kanehara's height, and also I've heard the rumors that he had a real difficulty making 135s back then. So I actually think he would be better at the featherweight.
So okay, so you win this fight, and you said you're looking to fight again. I'm curious to know, did you have any opponents potentially in mind? I know, would you like to maybe rematch Saito, try to get that win back, or Kleber at some point, or did you potentially have somebody else in mind who'd you like to maybe fight next?
この試合、ちゃんとしっかり勝てたら、次誰かやりたい選手とかいますか？または斉藤選手と再戦したいとか、またクレベルと再戦したいとか、なんか考えてることありますか？
やっぱり次、この試合で勝ったら、まあ、斉藤選手、クレベ選手はもちろんリベンジしたいですけど、まあ、一番はもう地方の選手で僕は出てるんで、そっちの活性化もしていきたいんで、とりあえず山口県の近くで大会が開いて、そこの戦いに出たいですね。
Well, yeah, I mean, after I win this fight this weekend, of course, I would like to get a revenge on Saito and Kleber. But at the same time, I actually would like RIZIN to promote more on a local area, which means far from Tokyo, like where I am, which is Yamaguchi Prefecture. So I would like RIZIN to do a show near my prefecture. Then I'll fight anyone.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, Yamaguchi Prefecture, like I don't know, as you know, I'm a foreigner. I don't know that much about the Yamaguchi Prefecture. Where could RIZIN have a show that would be that they could like, is there an arena or venue that would be best for a RIZIN show there?
ちなみにじゃあ山口県のすぐ近くで1万人ぐらい入るような大きな会場があっていいところとかなんかいい提案ありますか？
山口県のこと、会場のことはよくわかんないですけど、広島、福岡とかならできるんじゃないですかね。はい。
Well, I mean, I don't know too much about the venues in Yamaguchi Prefecture, but Hiroshima is pretty close enough, and I'm pretty sure there's a good venues there. So RIZIN could do a show there.
Oh yeah, what's the didn't RIZIN do a show at Hiroshima Sun Plaza, or am I misremembering? I know that there's the Hiroshima Sun Plaza. They do a lot of pro wrestling shows. Would that be an ideal venue for a show that would be near Yamaguchi?
広島サンプラザっていう会場があって、そこで結構プロレスの大会やってると思うんで、そこで来陣できるんじゃないかなと思うんですけども、行かれたことありますか？ご存知ですか、その会場。
いや、知らないですね。でも福岡でも一回来陣やりましたよね。
そうですね。
はい。
Well, I don't know about that venue, Hiroshima Sun Plaza, but yeah, sure, that could happen. Also, I think RIZIN has done a show in Fukuoka before, which is close to Yamaguchi Prefecture too. So that could be another possibility.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, also with I want to get your thoughts on the the featherweight division, because it is very stacked right now. And what are your overall thoughts on the RIZIN featherweight division and the competition that is in that division?
ライジンフェザー級の話になりますけども、すごくいろんないっぱい選手が、いろんなタイプの選手がいまして、結構激戦区じゃないですか。
はい、
そのファイザー級全体に関しては今、真島さんはどういうふうに思ってますか？
そうですね、まあ、今トップ戦線、突き抜けてる選手もそんないないと思うんで、クレベル選手とか全勝ですけど、前回戦ってみて、いけるところもあったし、ダメなところもあったんで、それを修正したらいずれ倒して自分がトップになれると思ってます。
Well, the featherweights is stacked with talent, but I see nobody's really like far better than the other fighters. Sure, Kleber Koike won all his fights, but I fought him last time, and of course there are some department I have to work on, but there's some department I thought I could do better than him. So I'm looking to work hard and fix that problem, and it will be Clearville. So that means I feel like the top of RIZIN is really close within my reach. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. I also want to get your thoughts on the current champion, Juntaro Ushiku, who did beat Saito, who you fought. So, yeah, what did you think about that? How Ushiku beat Saito?
現在チャンピオンは牛久選手になってますけども、でそれ明日試合しますが、次の日に試合しますけども、どうですか、斉藤選手に勝った牛久選手に対してはどういった印象を持ってますか？
牛久選手はあんまりまだ知らないんですけど、今でも一番強いのはクレベルかなと思ってますし、次の日の試合見て、楽しみですね。
Well, I don't know much about Ushiku yet, but in my mind, I think Clearville Koike is the best, that's toughest in the RIZIN featherweight. So I guess in terms of Ushiku, I have to see how he does on the fight, which is next day of my fight.
Gotcha. I know that the first time we talked, I did ask you about your Rebel FC title. I don't think you ever actually got the title, or there was something. Oh, there was a story along that line. Is there any update on that belt that you are currently the current holder of?
レベル FC のベルト前回も話したと思うんですが、結局ベルトが送られてこなかったって話があったと思いますけども、はい、その後何か進展ありましたか？
一緒に出たバンタム級のベルトをもらいました。
Well, there's no progress in regards to Rebel FC side. However, Mr. Shuhei Sakano, who was the bantamweight champion who fought in the same show, he is not fighting anymore. So he actually gave me his Rebel FC belt. So I have his bantamweight belt.
Oh, okay. So I guess I think that makes you the lineal bantamweight champion for Rebel FC. Oh, that's okay. That's a funny story. That's really really funny. Okay, so unofficial bantamweight champion, I'll say. Um, so I know that you said that you're a welder, full time, all that stuff. I'm curious to know how is the welding business going on? It's a field I'm not familiar with at all. Yeah. So update us on how the welding business is going and all that.
まあ、一応ベルトを持ってるということで、じゃあそれは暫定のバンタム王者とフェザーと2階級王者ということでいいということなんですけども、それで、まあ、それはいいとして、真島選手の話に戻りますけども、まあ、今でも溶接の仕事をなさっていると思うんですけども、どうですか、そこらの業界のことは全然彼は詳しくないんですけども、まあ、活性化しているとか、そのパンデミックでなんか問題があるとか、どうですか、職場の方は。
職場の方はもう忙しいですね。まあ、今も結構タンクの中とか入ってるんで、多分一番タンクの中入ってるファイターかもしれないです。
Well, actually, welding business is going very well, and I've been very busy, and I've been in a tank a lot. So I think I'll be in a tank more than any other MMA fighters in the world.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear. And so actually, so with this show coming up, both RIZIN Trigger and the RIZIN 35 show, it looks like, since there was a lot of foreigners on the cards, on both cards, and they are both very stacked cards, we're gonna have some new fans coming in, maybe seeing RIZIN for the first time, and maybe possibly seeing your fights for the first time. What can you tell first-time fans who will be seeing you, what they can look forward to in your fight against Masanori Kanehara?
今回、ライジントリガーも35も外人選手が入れるようになって、ね、まあ、そういうことによって、やっぱりアメリカとか海外でも見る人が増えてくると思いますから、まあ、初めてこのライジンを見るファンとか、初めて真島選手を見るファンもいると思うんですけども、そういったファンに対しては、今回の金原戦に対して、どういうところを見てほしいとか、なんかポイントあります？
まあやっぱり自分の強みは組とか寝技のコントロールなんで、そこをうまくやって決めて圧倒して、すごい組み技だなとか、グラップラーが出たなとか、そういうふうに思ってもらいたいですね。
Well, as I say, my strength is grappling and also ground control. So I would like to try to dominate the fight in my department and finish it. So all these fans who will be watching Rising and my fight will think, wow, there's a great grapplers come in the scene. So, that's what I'm looking to do. Okay, did you hear it?
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you get the answer? Or?
Oh yeah, I got it. I got
Okay,
it.
okay.
And I guess also before I wanted to ask, I know I think the first time we talked, you had no social media, but I think didn't you recently or at some point create an Instagram? I think you did that recently. Is that correct?
前回話したとき、あんまり SNS をほとんどやらないって話になったと思うんですけども、で、まあ、インスタグラムが開設されたのは分かったんですけども、その後なんかどうですかねつって SNS に関しては。
そうですね、もう僕の職場が結構電波が悪いんですよね。携帯時代、電話とかもあんまり通じなくてぐらい悪くて、まあ工場だからかもしれないですけど、まああとタンクの中とか入るんで、あんまり携帯が活用できないんですよね。
Well, I did open an Instagram account, but the problem is this: I do carry cell phones, but in the warehouse where I work at, or in the tank I work at, I can't really get a good reception. So actually, during the work days, I really can't utilize my cell phone, so couldn't do much.
Gotcha. So I'm curious to know what will be next. Do you foresee yourself ever creating a YouTube channel like every other fighter in Japan has done?
どうですかねじゃあ、そのインスタグラムはやっと開けたということで、日本人選手の間ではなぜか流行ってる YouTube チャンネルをやろうとか、そんなこと考えてらっしゃいますかって。
いやー、僕は YouTube とかもあんまり見ないし、まあ子供のアニメ見るぐらいで一緒に。そこまで考えたこと全くないですね。
Well, when it comes to YouTube, I don't even watch YouTube so much. I only watch YouTube with my kids, so we watch anime and stuff like that. So that about opening YouTube channel, that thought never even crossed my mind.
Okay, gotcha. Before you go, Majima-san, I wanted to give you an opportunity to give you any last comments or statements you want to say about your fight, or Kanehara-san. The floor is yours.
じゃあ最後なんですけども、ファンの方、または金原選手に対して何かメッセージとかありましたらお願いします。
ファンの方にはやっぱり自分の何度も言うように強みのグラップリングとかそういうとこを見てもらいたいし、金原選手と戦えることはすごく光栄なんで、強いでかい壁ですけど越えてさらなる上に行きたいなと思ってます。
Well, to the fans, I've been saying that my strength is grappling, so I would like you to enjoy that part of the game. And also to Kanehara-san, I would like to say that I'm very honored to fight him. He's a big and tall wall for me, but I'm looking to climb that wall and conquer that fight.
I actually also, if you have any sponsors or if you want to plug your team or your coaches or anything else, I also want to give you that opportunity as well.
他にじゃあ例えばスポンサーとかそのチームメイトが何か言いたいこととかありましたら何かありますか？
スポンサーは今回もいつも通り山口県の企業とかがほとんどなんですけど、やっぱりこういう地方の選手で地方の企業に支えられて戦ってるんで、今回勝ってそれを恩返しにしたいなと思いますね。
Well, I would also like to say thank you to all my sponsors, who is mainly all local sponsors from Yamaguchi Prefecture. So I am a typical so-called local fighter supported by the local businesses. So I really would like to win this one and give them back something that they've been supporting me for.
And you could see Kazumasa Majima face off against Masanori Kanehara this Friday night, RIZIN Trigger 3rd, April 16th. Again, it's available on live now with English commentary. And Majima-san, glad to see you're back fighting, and I'm really looking forward to this fight. It's definitely going to be an exciting featherweight matchup. And yeah, hopefully we get to see you fight again a few times more this year.
これで終わりですけども、今度の試合すごく楽しみにしてますというのと、これにしっかり勝って2回、3回、今年また試合見たいと思いますので、よろしくお願いします。
はい、こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
頑張りです。
Yeah.